forgotten for a while, perhaps because it is one of those states at the far end of Nigeria, with some of its local government areas sharing borders with a country like Niger Republic, and then suddenly Zamfara state finds itself into the news. Different bulletins and headlines carry stories of disturbing stories of killings, of kidnappings, of banditries, all coming from this state in the last few months. Now that's why Big Story is in this northwestern state to bring you this episode of the program. I'm Ini John Mekwa. It's been home to some 3.2 million Hausa and Fulani-speaking Nigerians since it was carved out of Sokoto State in 1996. With an accumulated land area of about 38,000 square kilometers, its 14 local government areas share borders to the north with Niger Republic, to the south with Kaduna State, while on the eastern part of the state it borders with Katsina State, while Sokoto and Niger State are to the west. Its capital, Gusau, is the most metropolitan part of the state and has attracted Nigerians from different parts of the country, although most of the residents are from the northern part of the country. At the heart of the city, residents have access to markets along the road where foodstuff, fruits and vegetables are freely on display for patronage. Transportation within the city is by motorbikes, tricycle and private vehicles, and traffic is hardly experienced because of the sparse population numbering about 150,000. The outer part of the city has expanse of unoccupied land, which is a normal characteristics in the northern part of the country, as well as rocky areas, and has pools of water which residents use for cleaning. Its forestry wealth has also been developed as a source of livelihood, as firewoods are made and sold for domestic use. The city also has the Central Motor Park, which serves commuters. In the park, young boys are available to help with luggages from passengers, a source of living for them. While other young men engage in various petty trade. All these activities have been slightly interrupted by incidents of insecurity recorded in Zamfara state in the last couple of months, but that is far from the reality in local government areas outside the capital, which is why, as Big Story crew attempts to visit these areas, Channels Television reached out to the Zamfara command of the Nigeria Police Force to provide security. Officers familiar with the terrain are chosen and briefed on what is expected of them and risks involved in the area. And one of the security tips is to blend in with the natives by dressing in their attire. Our trip starts at the State Command Headquarters in Gusau, and the destination is Shinkafi local government area, one of the 14 which has records of banditry and kidnapping activities in the state. Outside the heart of the capital, large open land unoccupied on both sides of the road. After every kilometer or two, settlements can be seen, but with large unoccupied space in between. About an hour and a half after a departure from the police headquarters in Guzau, we arrive at Bararara Junction, which leads into the heart of Shinkafi local government area. Another 30 minutes drive after and we arrive at the Shinkafi local government area secretariat, around which major commercial activities can be recorded, and life here can hardly be described as cosmopolitan. Security situation here is not as stable as the capital, however it is perceived as safe when compared to the rural parts of the local government area. We travel further and open uninhabited land with a handful of settlements are in the middle. At some parts of our travel, the sand is not so friendly to the vehicle, and in the middle of the field, we all have to get off the vehicle because the tire keeps sinking into the sand. After a skillful manipulation by the driver, we scale through to the other side and our journey continues. Our destination is Kwari District, which has about 20 communities and shares borders with Niger Republic and Sokoto State. The road here is undefined and there are clusters of settlement on either side. The settlements are, however, now empty for about 2 months after a series of attacks and killings. In the area we see Ferindutse Hill. Our police escorts say many officers have been killed at this point because the bandits use the hill as an ambush. About 2.5 hours into a journey, we arrive at Atara village, one of the villages that has been attacked. Many of the houses have been burnt down and villagers are yet to regain confidence to return home. And even as we stop to record, the officers with us have to be at alert. Activities have, however, started in the area. Lorries carrying agricultural produce from a nearby farm out to the town, along with traders who have come to buy them, can be seen. Hajia Timbo is one of the returnees in Atarawa village, although she says confidence is fragile.
Some of our people have been kidnapped and many others killed. Personally, I lost 7 members of my family to the attacks. After that, the rest of us fled our homes for 5 months. I am only here because of the presence of the security operatives. However, we lack food.
Further, we meet some farmers. This area is known to produce cassava, sweet potato, mangoes, garden eggs and onions. The farmers now employ local security personnel for their protection to and from the farm. About 15 minutes later, we arrive in the village. Buildings have been touched from the entrance of the village, the first being what we are told used to belong to a councillor in an alleged attempt to steal money from the house. However, the reason for some thatch houses being burnt may elude many minds, as it's obvious that the residents could hardly have bulk money or valuables stored in here. The residents of Kwari village, both young and old, hardly have access to the finer things of life. They obviously just live off the proceeds of their farms, which is meager because they practice peasant farming. Living here is rural, but there's one good thing, and that's that the government has provided boreholes, which gives the villagers alternative source of water. Unfortunately, this simple life has been disrupted in the last 5 months or so. The district head, Magaji Ibrahim Kwari, tells us that the population we see here is only about 3% of their total population because many have fled their homes after the attacks.
People that are living here, out of 100%, I think remain only 3% because most of them ran away because of the intervention of these bandits. And they used to come and terrorize us and go away. They kill our people. At the end of the day, when they used to come around at 4 to 5 in the evening, if not because of the intervention of the security men, people have find things very difficult. Immediately as they came, they ran away. But now, if they see plane, they will leave their rifle and hide. Now there's some areas here, Manawa, Kangara, that's where they are. They hold that area hostage. The people that are there, they don't want them to come. And if the people want to go, they will just hold them and let the plane come and kill them all. Now it's almost 5 months we are facing this, and we lost our people. As I'm talking to you now, almost 200 plus that my people die, that they killed them. So we have been experiencing it for almost 5 months.
We move on to the end of the village. The simplicity of the living is seen everywhere. And then we get to the part which has been turned to a graveyard. Freshly dug grave. We count 110 of them at this point alone. The villagers say their relatives, once active and alive, now lie lifeless under the soil, which should have been used for planting crops.
So what happened was that within 3 days, there were killed about 200 plus within 2 days, between Thursday to Saturday. And there is no any response from either the local government chairman, state, and federal. Even though this time around, when we take the case by myself, including Magaji himself, he's around now with me. We went to the state government and complained to him what exactly happened in our villages. That's where they send us a security men to protect us. Even though because of these people that you see here with us, definitely you can't find anybody in this town. We don't know what they actually need from us. Before, these people were living with them because they are Fulani people by tribe. They are living with us peacefully. But we don't know what happened, what bring this problem between we and them. For the first time, they are stealing our cows, goat, sheep, and whatever. Later, they come back and kidnap us. After that one again, they come and kill us. They don't want money, they don't want anything from us. Immediately when they see us, they will run. There was a day that almost about 87 vehicle, bike with 3 trees around us. Nobody care for us. What they are after, immediately when they see you, they will just kill you and run away. That's what happened.
Are you sure it is not because you people have killed their cow or killed their person before now? Because if you have been living together all these years, they cannot just wake up and start killing you for nothing.
But that one never happened in our area. There's no day where we kill one of their cow. Nothing like that. Because this thing, it happened not only here, it's almost all over the state. So we don't know what exactly brings this problem between Hausa and Fulani. But now, as the security men are with us, these people, there is some villages around us here. Most of the villages, Hausa live there. But presently now, the bandit, they drive them away. It's only the bandit are living there inside town because of the plan that usually occur inside the bush. When they see the plane, they will now rush inside that town and live there.
The questions pile up even more because Kwari has no record of gold mines, so one wonders what the motive of the bandits are. The villagers say their respite is only because of the security agencies, which is made up of the police, the DSS, the army and the NSCDC. Their base has been created close to the end of the village in a public school. As the crew leaves Kwari village, the residents are pleased to have received a certain level of attention, but there's a heavier weight on their minds. How long will the security agencies be stationed here for their security? The police complain that their work to eradicate the state of criminal individuals has been made difficult by some of those perceived to be victims.
The attitude of the people towards security and the insecurity. So you will find out that some, I can't say whether they are the indigenes, but they live with the people. The bandits you see are known to some of them. Yes, some migrated from somewhere, but they recruited from here. That's where the problem is. So some of them, they know them. And some are prepared to give informations, of which we are working on now. Some are not prepared, because in some families, maybe they are making gains, or they are not. But usually what I observed is that that's the insecurity came up as a result of some reprisal attacks, maybe because of cattle rustling, some people's cows or whatever were rustled, and they are not happy. Some lost their relations, and they want to pay back. The thing is this: when we talk of these bandits, we don't talk of normal criminals that you can get to their houses and get. Or maybe you wait for them on the road, you catch them. The areas where they operate, they are not motorable. For your information, these people live in the forest. That's where they hibernate. So when you are going there, you are not going to a place that you feel is palatable. Sometimes when they even come out, you may not know, because the operation is a guerrilla type of attack. They lay ambush for you, so suddenly you are being fired. And these people shoot without aiming. They have inexhaustible ammunitions. So, but the way we get them is that our intelligence works well. Because definitely, even if you are inside the Atlantic, intelligence must come down to get you there. And once the intelligence gets you, we know how to lay ambush for you. And we get you.
The Commissioner of Police also speaks on the impact of the closure of mining activities in the state. Big Story crew had indicated interest to visit at least one of the sites located in Moru local government area, among others, but the police advised against it.
We've taken over all the mining sites, and we've asked everybody to stay clear from it. But that notwithstanding, the insecurity is on. But I'm happy with what is going on. There's this air bombardment that's going on continuously, and the bandits are in this area. And then you talk of the miners. Some, or majority, are illegal miners. I should think that some of these merchants are within the axis of the mines. And you realize that sometimes when we pursue these bandits, some of them use these mines to hide themselves. They keep their arms there.
Meanwhile, the state government has to deal with the consequences of insecurity in the state. The state government says that in 2019 alone, more than 5,000 people have been killed, over 9,000 injured, resulting in over 10,000 orphans and 20,000 widows, with over 10,000 structures burnt down, 13,000 hectares of crops destroyed. And this burden lies on the shoulder of the state.
Since the beginning of this problem, we have been doing three things. One, sensitization, cooperation with security agencies, and then working together with them. Secondly, if there is an attack which leads to having people displaced, first we visit the community, then the committee ascertain level of damage in terms of who lost what property, in terms of who has been injured and what is the degree of injury, in terms of who has been displaced, in terms of who has been killed. If we have situation of displacement, we approach it in three angles. For those at camp, we keep them temporarily, and this committee give them 3 square meal, sometimes even clothing, sometimes even, bedding materials and so on. And other people also do come and render assistance through these committees to take care of these IDPs. Some of them who have relatives, we encourage them to also relate, because sometimes they prepare, even if they are at the camp, they will tell you they want to go to their relative's house, and then you have no control on the camp. So we allow that, as a way. In the interim, we mobilize security. That is what we do in all the transition camps. When we organize security, we determine what strength of security is required to take them back home, because they also do not like to stay in the IDPs. Everybody wants to go back home. So when we do that, we use the security agencies and then gradually disembark and take them back home.
Beyond the fallout of the situation, the way forward has also been determined by the government.
The elders committee of the state sat and then drafted a whole package for the government to say, look, sometimes 1.5 years ago, you must do community drive approach. Because from their perception, we need intelligence, and the intelligence can only come from the community. Secondly, most of the security agencies that will have been posted to the state, some of them do not understand the geography, the terrain of the people. They need some guidance. So it is absolutely necessary. It can only come from the community. So the program entails forming committees at state, local government, emirate, and ward levels of relevant stakeholders. The other component is also engagement of civilian JTF. So we formed all these committees. They were formalized and launched, and they were mandated, number one, to generate information and garner intelligence, which they will pass to the Department of Home Affairs for onward delivery and discussion with the security agencies.
So many perspectives as to the factors that have led to this insecurity in Zamfara state, but at the end of the day, it's not a Zamfara problem, it's a Nigeria problem. because the agricultural produce consumed in many other parts of the country comes from here. And so all hands must be on deck to solve this problem. That's our story. Thank you for watching. I'm Amy John McFarland.